us on the couch now is a group that ripped through a surprise show at South by Southwest and whose new album, Wasting Light, confirms that they're one of the greatest rock bands on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Foo Fighters. Yeah! So you guys are doing some really interesting things to promote your new album, one of which is going to people's houses and playing in their garages.
Yeah.
And you played in Yonkers, is that right?
We played a gig at this guy John's house in Yonkers, and he just had like a 2-car garage, and it was, you know, there was like Angus Young posters on the wall, and he makes his own prosciutto, so there was prosciutto hanging in the corner. And,
really?
Yeah.
Like from a dead pig?
No, yeah.
Oh, it's still live.
Yeah, it's live prosciutto. And it was really fun. I mean, I thought that it would be interesting to go and just play in people's garages, because you've played in people's garages before. It's a great place to play a gig.
So you spent the last few years building one of the best studios in all of Los Angeles and then decided to record this new album in your garage.
Yeah.
Why the garage?
I just felt like in order to, you know, have a good time with this, we needed to go somewhere else and do something different. And rather than take the conventional route of going to a beautiful studio somewhere else, why not do it in the garage?
Was your wife bummed that she had to park in the driveway?
Well, we did have to keep the minivan out for like about 2 months, so we were sort of bummed. But no, she was all good. She understood completely.
On this album, you used Butch Vig again, who was the producer for Nevermind back in the day. What was different working with him this time around?
He wears cologne.
He wears cologne?
Yeah.
He smells good.
He smells really good.
Is he a nice smelling guy? As a band, do you
scent.
think that Butch smells nice?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. What a scent.
So you had Bob Mould from Husker Du come in.
Yeah.
And Chris Novoselic also.
Yeah.
Is this just something where you just invited all your friends to come in?
It sort of felt like that. I mean, it was so informal. The whole thing was so laid back. It was like the drums were in the garage. We were upstairs in my office, which I built to hide in from my family. And, you know, everyone would come and hang out, and Monday we would do drums, and Tuesday, Wednesday we do guitars, and Friday we would do vocals, and we'd do 1 song a week. And I just thought that it would be fun to have Bob Mould come in and do a duet with me on this one song, Dear Rosemary, because he's a total hero of mine. Husker Du were my favorite band when I was a kid.
What about Sugar?
Sugar too. I mean, I really think he's one of America's greatest, most unsung songwriting heroes. And he came down for 1 day, and it was awesome. And Novoselic, I mean, since Nirvana, he and I have been really close friends. And knowing that I was doing the record with Butch, that we were making it with Butch, I just thought it would be fun for the 3 of us to be in a studio together again. So it was pretty cool.
So for the rest of you guys, were you guys in the studio all the time, or was it just like, oh, it's my day to go in, I'll pop in, do my thing, and then I'll have the rest of the week off?
I was there every day.
You were there every day?
These 2 were here every day. They were there.
But not always in the studio. We hung out in the tent.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the documentary.
Yeah, there's a tent.
So.
Yeah, the tent.
And Nate, you look like you were camped out there by yourself, just loner in the tent on your bass, writing your bass parts.
Bass symphonies.
I'm really happy that part showed up in the film. Yeah, just studying.
It's not bass lines,
how do you
it's
do
bass
this?
symphonies.
Right.
You recorded them on old school tape machines.
Yeah.
Why did you want to record on old school tape machines? You know there's technology now.
I do, and that technology I think is kind of hurting music in a lot of ways, because what happens when you're given the option to manipulate something so much that it can take the personality away from it, it can really mess up that human element of music, you know? And so you have drummers that are really great that aren't perfect, but they have a real signature style or a real sound or a feel that's their own. Well, if you slam them into a computer and line it up so that it's perfect, it just takes all of that away. And you know, there was something about getting an album that sounds like the Foo Fighters, you know? Not like a cleaned up digital version, but like it sounds like us.
Was it a super, super bum out to have to play the stuff correctly and not rely on the computer?
It was hard sometimes, yeah.
What are the drawbacks of playing on tape?
None, there are none.
None.
You have to, you know what, if you drop the tape in a bucket of shit, you have to record again. That's it. That's
So be
basically-
careful with your buckets of You know? Just don't have a lot of buckets
Careful
of
handling your tapes around buckets.
Yeah.
You gave me some of the best advice that I've ever gotten from any artist through the history of my career. Foo Fighters and Blink-182 were touring Australia on the big day out.
That was fun.
And Tom and I had both started dating our girlfriends at that time. And we were talking to you backstage and we were complaining that we missed our girlfriends. And you said, well, why don't you just fly them out to be with you? And we're like, oh, sorry, dude, we're not rich and famous. We don't have Nirvana money. And you're like, you know what, guys? I honestly hope that one of these days you're as rich and famous as I am because it's f***ing awesome. And I've taken that to heart.
It's true.
Yeah,
it really is awesome.